All right, tour time. A few things about the tour.
Oh yeah.
Don't be stupid. We all know what to do and what not to do. Don't go climbing over fences or stepping in holes or trying to touch something you ain't supposed to touch. Y'all know how to act. Be smart. Listen to everybody. If you get out of line, somebody will tell you. You can leave your stuff in here if you would like. We're coming back in here, and then when we come back in here, at that point everything's over and you're free to leave.
Oh, it's not that cold outside.
They got me mic'd up. I don't know. Yeah. Travel check. They want to put a mic on. I'm mic'd up. All right.
I'll walk with other Carowinds connection.
Yes. I don't have a brick.
Don't need one.
I'll take it.
Be okay.
I need your plans.
I've been ready to site. There's no construction going on.
All right.
I've got permission. It's good. I've got permission from the general contractor. We're okay.
All right.
See all that's important.
What's the responsibility of that?
Warning.
Big kid. Just a big kid. General manager's a big kid. It's a great thing.
Well, he does have 2 kids at home, so he gets a lot of inspiration from his children.
There you go. Okay. Everybody from the tour over here? All right, good. My name's Steve Jackson. I'm the director of maintenance out here. I'm going to be giving you a tour. We are going to go over to the roller coaster. And if you want to touch the coaster, I'm going to let you touch the coaster today. Okay?
Easy.
Easy coaster, bro.
I checked it out earlier today, and there's some wet paint. They painted this morning, so there's some wet paint on the running rail. So don't touch the running rail. Otherwise, I have to repaint it, and I don't want to have to do that. So if you touch the track, if you want to touch it, touch the box beam or one of the columns. Okay? Don't touch the running track. You can't see where it's wet. All right? We're going to go out this door. We're going to the picnic shelter. We're going to go 4-wheeling, well 2-wheeling. We'll go through the mud. We'll get over there close to the coaster. The other thing, I'm going to let you look down where the track goes underground, where the bridge is going to go over the top. What I ask is don't go past the column foundation. Okay? It's a deep excavation. There's caution tape up. There's a lot of mud. So just don't go past the column foundation. If you get too far over there, I'll holler at you and you'll come back. Okay? Any questions before we go?
You mean he'll holler?
Yeah, he'll holler. All right. If you don't have a hard hat, it's okay. You still go out here.
I've already ordered that.
Huh?
I heard him already.
Oh.
If I walk too fast, somebody holler at me. We're going to stop up here at the stop sign so I can actually see how big this group is. We'll just hold up right here.
You guys kind of seal off the trains to protect it from the elements?
We're actually doing train rehab and rebuilding here.
Oh, okay.
We wrap a few of our picnic shelters, and then we throw some heat in there so the mechanics have somewhere to work. We don't have enough shop space. So what we do is there's a lot of parks to do this. They take the picnic pavilions, they enclose them, they rebuild the trains in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Works out pretty good. As we go inside, you'll see a few more of them wrapped up like this.
So Intimidator's starting to look a little pale.
Hey, Steve.
We'll do that.
You talk loud, but people
Needs a new
can't
paint job.
Well, I wasn't talking that loud.
hear. Yeah, well, they can't hear you.
All right.
We got our first guest complaint of 2015 because they can't hear you.
Where's that?
We're not sending you to talk to them.
All right. Anybody in the back, can you hear me okay now? If not, I'm gonna have to start using this megaphone here. And is that better? Okay, I'll use the megaphone. The sound guy really didn't want me to, but oh well. He'll get over it. Okay, we're gonna go down the road here into the picnic shelter. We're gonna go over the grass, through the fence. We're gonna go over to the coaster. And then once we get over there, if you want to take a picture, you want to touch the coaster, that'll be fine. Don't touch the running rail where there's wet paint. If you want to touch the running rail, touch the bottom of it, okay? Otherwise, I don't want to have to repaint. It just costs me money and more work. It slows me down. We need to get this thing open. When we get done here at the coaster, we're going to come back to the road. We're going to go into the park. We're going to go over to the bridge that goes over our service road so you can look at the North Gate construction. Once we leave there, we're going to go over to the Slingshot site. Once we leave there, we're going to go down to Thrill Zone where I'll show you Coke Marketplace, and then you can actually look at where the station's being built for the coaster. And then we'll come back to Harmony Hall. That's our tour. I expect it to take an hour. If it takes a little bit longer than that, I'm fine. If you've got questions, holler them out. I'll repeat them, and then we'll try to get you an answer. Okay? Any questions right now? Excellent. Let's go.
Cool. It feels pretty decent out here. So the old bridge did not meet the standards of the ADA, am I correct?
That's correct. Yep.
And so it was just completely flattened to just allow wheelchairs and for easy crossing?
We lowered it. It's still got a slight rise to it, but it meets all the needs.
Okay, because I knew that I could tell that it did not, because that act did not come into place until what, the 80s? Because it was after the park was built.
Oh yeah, it was way after the park was built.
Speaking Steve.
What? Just real quick question. The temporary braces that are on the first hill, right? When do those come down?
They'll come down after we connect the last piece.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because the cranes will be right there at it. Well, no.
We're pretty much done with the big cranes.
Okay.
The little cranes can take them down.
Because I know Leviathan had them at one point, and then they were taken back down.
Yeah, they'll take them down.
Yeah.
Are those the same cranes you guys are going to use for Slingshot, or that could be different?
No, they'll be different cranes.
And speaking of that, I realized that how is a crane going to get in there? Is it like a crane like the one you're using now, or?
For a Slingshot?
Yeah.
No, it'll be a hydraulic crane.
Okay. Something like what you're using now.
Yep. We are going to go over here.
Oh.
We're going to go to the fence and we'll walk down over here.
Down from the
We're going to go. I'm going to stop right here so we catch up. If there's anybody that doesn't want to walk through the mud and go over to the coaster, if you'll wait right in this plaza area, you can watch through the fence there if you'd like, if you don't want to go. And then we'll come back right here and pick everybody up and go on the rest of the tour. There's a few questions as we walked up. One of them was the braces over there on the lift. Are they staying or are they going? Those braces will come off. They're gray, they're not painted white, so they stick out. They're pretty easy to see. If you look right over the roof line here, you can see it on the down drop. Those will come out. That was just to hold the columns up until they got the track in place. So once we get the last piece connected, those will come out. And the big red crane over here, we're done with the big red cranes. We just need the smaller hydraulic cranes to finish putting the ride together. So
What are you using for the Slingshot?
we'll pull. Question was, what are we going to use for the Slingshot as far as cranes go? We'll bring another crane in, a hydraulic crane to put the Slingshot up. It's a pretty easy lift. It's 200 feet. Slingshot 60 meters is 198 feet, 197, depends on how you round the math. Okay, if you'll follow me, we're going to go around here and I'll take you right through the fence.
Will the Slingshot have to have flashing lights on the top?
I'll answer that one in a minute.
Okay.
Because that's a great question.
Because the towers themselves aren't 300 feet, right?
They're not.
Because the capsule goes 300 feet.
Or 197.
Okay, because the capsule goes the 300 feet.
Listen, Amos, listen.
Good day.
This is a big one though.
Well, how much bigger do you want it, Jarvis?
A couple hundred more feet.
A couple hundred more feet? Go to Orlando in 2017.
Well, I need to tighten up the phone.
Call him White.
Come on, how to try it for quality.
Stop that.
I think critters like your park, Mike.
Think they do.
Yeah.
Just the workers.
Yeah.
Don't stick your tongue to the coaster. You might freeze.
This is the location if you want to get pictures close to the track. You can tell that it's real shiny on the top here. They painted this track. Just keep your hands off the top of it. Photos over here. I'll go over here and stand as far as I want you to go, so you can see the tunnel. So now I walked across there pretty good. So if anybody paid attention where I walked, you won't get too muddy, but it's your shoes.
1, 2, 3. That's an awesome picture with a curve.
We'll never get this close to the track.
Yep.
Never.
Kind of, sort of, but
Well,
not on the ground.
right.
Well,
Right over here is as far as we need to go. If you want to look at the big hole we've got over here that the ride goes down into, and the bridge will actually go across the ride as your entry portal to the park.
If anybody gets hurt, I get in a lot
So what
of
type
trouble.
of protective? Is it going to be like a fence over it?
The question was, what are we using to protect the people and the ride? There is an 8-foot fence that'll be up here along the ride bridge itself. So we're also going to put video cameras on it. So we'll have video of anybody trying to throw anything on the ride. But we've checked with our safety people, third-party inspectors, B&M, and so far we don't think we're going to have a problem.
Good stuff.
Huh?
A little muddy.
Mike, have they determined the location of the ride photo?
Steve, do we have the right photo spot?
Yes, we do have the ride photo spot. It's on the return path. Yeah, this thing's loud, isn't it? Woo! Anyway, we do have that. There's a spot over on the return path. I think it's the last place it gets close to the ground. The camera pole, I think it's a 20-foot pole. The ride's about 10 feet off the ground. It's right when you start going up again. Speed's about 45 to 50 miles an hour, so it should be a good photo. If y'all will cycle around, there's not a whole lot of room over here. If we can cycle around and let some other people get over here. Oh, no, you can go back that way.
Oh, this way.
Yep. Yep.
we don't have the privilege.
Yeah, it's real muddy over here. So once you come on to the section, you'll cycle on back around.
Steps right in.
Standing.
Squish, squish.
I'll get you a great shot because you're looking right at all of it.
By the way, if this mud looks like you'll sink in it, you will. I just did.
Hey Steve, is this as close as we're getting to the hole? Yeah.
Yeah, this particular element is one that you won't find on too many B&M coasters because the profile of this down drop right here, it's almost supposed to be like it's a flat drop. It's not quite flat because you can't quite do a flat drop on a coaster, but they're trying. The intent here was to try to do a flat drop that kind of takes your stomach out from you. It's almost a weightless drop is what they're after.
Amazing, I can't wait.
We'll see how successful it is.
Hey, I have a question. Like you see like these little gray patches, like especially on the rails. Like you guys go back through and touch that up?
Yep.
Yes. The question was these little gray spots you see up here on the rails.
Oh wow, so you're working.
That's actually where they grinded the rails as the pieces have been put together.
Yeah.
And then the painters are actually going back and repainting those. So the erector will actually grind and prime them. and then we've got a paint contractor who comes out here and actually repaints it the same color. That's why the bottom of this track is wet, because they painted it today. We've been waiting for some really good weather, and this is great weather for painting, for track erection, for construction. It's dry, it's relatively warm, it's above 40 degrees, so above 40 degrees and dry, we can do about anything we want to.
Hey Steve, there were some questions earlier about the rails, if they're filled with sand or not.
All right, we had a question, is this track filled full of sand? This track is not full of sand.
The box isn't, the rails
The box is not. The rails aren't either.
The rails are.
The rails are full of sand?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's what they told me in Claremont.
Okay, well, we have sand in our rails. I learned something new today, too.
I learned it at Claremont.
From what I hear, it makes it quieter. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
This is an amazing angle over here. Going through this section, what's it forecasted to be going miles per hour?
The speed through this section right here, the down drop, or right going into the horseshoe?
Yeah, right up here. I'm just curious. I mean, that's an amazing angle.
You know, it would be
between 0 and 95.
I guarantee it'd be more than 0.
It better be.
Way more. I don't know the exact answer, but the down drop is 95 miles an hour. The entry speed at the brakes at the end of the ride is 55 miles an hour. So I'll let you make your own interpolation. If I don't have the right answer, I don't want to guess. But if I had to guess, I'd say you're probably 60 miles an hour, maybe 65.
Well, what's low to the ground? I'd say maybe a little faster.
Yeah, if you go back and look at the animation,
coming out from here,
with it being real low to the ground, it looks like it maintains a lot of its speed.
Yeah. So I would say upwards in the 80s, probably.
We have a guess over here. It's in the 80s.
Because it stays low to the after the bullet turn. It stays really low to the ground. So.
You know, it's always better to under-promise and over-deliver.
Yeah. Case in point.
Thank you. Any other questions back there? I got one up front.
Yeah, so like when you're looking at the support structure on here, this one is facing outwards, where like on the on that other turn behind you, you know, like the diagonal piece is facing inwards. So I mean, like obviously that diagonal member is being pulled on and these is being pushed on. Like do you know why they did that on like each of these corners, or is it just like a space thing?
Some of us got to do. The question was, why are the braces at different angles, different locations? A lot of it's got to do with the space that's available. And what they do is they profile this track in an engineering program and model it, and they figure out where their supports need to be. If they need a support on the outside, they'll put it on the outside. If they need it on the inside, they'll put it on the inside. If they need one on the outside, but they can't put it there, they'll put it on the inside. It's usually got a little bit more concrete, a little bit more structure to it. So you can put these supports at a lot of different places, but a lot of it's got to do with how the ride is set up, the engineering involved with it, and you can move things around if the engineering is correct.
What a dynamic force, I believe.
I might have seen somebody had a question somewhere about how many cycles do we have to run before we can open the ride. And the answer is, you know, there's going to be a lot of cycles run by B&M before the ride gets turned over to us, as they're calibrating the ride and all the brakes and the system. Once it's turned over to us, maintenance is going to run it a number of times, and each train will get at least 100 cycles prior to us opening. So 300 total cycles of the ride, but 100 per train at bare minimum. But that's, again, once it's turned over to us.
Do you need human test dummies?
No, we got water ones.
Well, we're water weight too.
We're willing. We're willing.
Yeah, the question was, do we need human test dummies? And you know, we have to feed people. They have to get off and use bathrooms, so we just use water dummies. They're a little bit more efficient. They don't complain. They don't have to get off and use bathrooms. So
they won't complain.
They won't complain
either.
I won't even get off.
The bathroom, we just fill them back.
I won't even get off.
It's okay.
I have a question. What are these like the gray spots that we saw?
Oh, we have a repeat question. Somebody wasn't listening earlier. Oh, you were in the back. Okay, there we go. The gray spots are where the rails have been ground together. They've been ground where the track meets together. So that's primer paint. Then when the painter will come back by and paint where all those gray spots are so it matches.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And that makes for a nice smooth ride when you grind the joints.
Now the engine is positive. This way.
It goes right over the track here.
Okay.
The entrance plaza actually comes, you can see the pillars over here. They'll come, there's a bridge that gets put in right across there. So the entry bridge is perpendicular to the track. So you'll walk right over the track. And if you're riding, you'll fly right under the bridge.
That's awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. I got one more question.
All right, now the structure of the bridge, will there be like a glass floor so we could see underneath it, or will it just be?
That'd be great. No glass.
I had a question about will there be a glass floor on the bridge?
It's something
that was part of one of the original design ideas that we had, but when we actually got into the technical execution of that, we decided that we did not want all these people having to take their shoes off and walk on our glass bridge with their stocking feet. So we decided not to put the glass on the bridge.
Now, I noticed in the animation there were some glass railings. Is that still going to be, or will it be a different? Will it be different? Okay.
The animation was made very early on, and
Okay.
there are changes. Actually, the midways won't have those big circles that are in there. They're going to be straight. A lot of the landscaping, there were changes to some of the profile of the buildings. It's just that was so early on in construction.
Those imprints of the two states won't be there.
They won't.
Oh, that was a cool idea.
It was. The where it just says Carowinds in the circle, that's going to look a lot better than it does in the animation. That really came to life.
You guys bring it back now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, let's go ahead and go back towards the picnic shelter. We'll congregate right at the wooden fence right before it goes out onto the service road.
Hopefully they'll pack down all the mud for us.
At least lay down.
Trees, grass, trees. This right in here will be made grass.
Now, right there in between the two entry pathways, will all those trees will still be there, right? But they'll be like, are they going to be in the same orientation, or just randomly plotted?
Still on site, we'll be there.
Okay, because
we actually have a bunch of trees that we have to plant yet.
Okay, because like
magnolias and
I was going to say, are they bringing back the magnolias?
Yeah, those were pretty.
Yep,
those were pretty.
All of them got transplanted to the
campground, didn't it? Or toll plaza.
one other person.
Because I know that back at the announcement, I was talking to Julie about it, and she said that all the trees that get moved, they get put elsewhere.
Yep.
And then brought back.
Yeah, I think I want to stay over that way.
Yeah. Now,
I don't want to go. Yeah, that doesn't look
will there be any upgrades to like the Vortex Plaza area while the construction's going on?
Be careful with the mud. Here, come on through.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Anybody got a marker?
Yeah, nobody fall.
Because I know that particular area of the park, for some first-time guests, is kind of difficult to find the entrance to Vortex.
Right.
Like when I first came, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And I figured that by opening that area up a little more and adding some more shade, and it might be easier to find it. Because when you come out of the
shade arbor, you want to go straight.
Yeah, but you have to you curve around. But I love the plaza there, and I love the fountain there. It's a good place to cool off. Now, right over there in the plaza, there are the two game stalls.
Not anymore.
No, okay, so those were removed.
Yeah.
Oh, the teal ones.
Yep.
Okay, I was wondering if that was where it was going to go.
Those were in the way.
A quick question about the tunnel area. You know how Afterburn used to have a mist area into the tunnel?
Still does.
It does. Mm-hmm. Oh, will that something be done like that here? Oh,
no.
That would be cool though.
Well, right now we're saying no, but we might go back and do it. It depends.
At some point.
Yeah.
No, I went to Northampton.
Have to see how it works out.
So you're from up that way?
Okay.
Okay. I student college.
We're gonna meet over here at the wooden gate. Yep. We're gonna go to the gate. We're gonna go up to the North Gate Bridge.
Up the group sales pathway. It's a picnic we leave.
No, we're going back on the third into the car.
Perfect.
And then we're going to the Vortex Plaza, and then down to the coaster. Perfect. So
about high up off the ground is the station? About 20 feet, 25 feet? Because Because I know it's fairly high if it wants to include the mechanics and a gift shop.
Actually, right at 20 feet.
Because I know it had to be high up off the ground.
I like pineapple because these are more user friendly. Like Samsung.
Okay, is everybody ready to go? All right, let's go.
Let's track mud everywhere.
It's all right. I got super cleaned up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So when's Fury actually going to be done?
The erection, I'd say by the end of week after next. Because the last section of the track is due to arrive late next week, isn't it?
It is.
Late next week, so I'd say it'll be in place by Tuesday. Well, Tuesday after next.
You know, we're gonna. The last piece of track is supposed to show up on Tuesday.
Oh, this coming Tuesday?
This coming Tuesday, and then we'll have to figure out exactly
the weather and stuff.
The weather's supposed to be good all week. Be. So we're planning probably, you know, Thursday or Friday.
How far do you plan out the schedule?
Well, I know the torquing of the bolts needs to be done.
Erection schedule, or
just schedule for anything to do that coming week, or?
Well, we actually schedule. When you do something like this, you've got to do the complete schedule.
Right.
And then what you end up doing is you end up adjusting the schedule based off weather conditions, how far along you are.
So do you take that day by day, or?
It's like more a couple weeks in advance. A lot of it's got to do with when the steel's getting here, what the weather is, how fast it's going up. You know, where the guys are torquing
now,
track together.
Now they'll be torquing the bolts until sometime week after next, won't they?
They'll be torquing bolts for a while.
Because I know, now have they got, like, let's say from the station to where they are, well now, the Camelback Hill, are they up to that point yet?
With
torquing the bolts?
They've been torquing as they go. They're only about 10 pieces back.
Okay, so from the current erection. Because I knew they were pretty close, but I didn't know how close.
You have to go back and double check some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I said they'll be torquing for a while. Okay, I'm gonna not say anything really until everybody gets up here, but once we get up here, I'll explain what's going on.
I just gotta remember if it's Cedar Point or if it was Peter Island.
Yeah, it's not like a really small.
You know, we actually removed the bridge and we put a new one in. It's a lot wider. We also lowered it. This is a very large group to do a tour with.
Oh yeah, it was larger than the Carolina Coastal Classic, wasn't it?
Yeah, normally I do a tour for about 50 people. I don't have to use this, but with a group this large, I don't like these things. But
no,
it's all right. It's a necessary evil. I'm fine. Then you have the man with the GoPro on a stick.
Always.
The arm.
There you go. I guess nice.
Now that house is.
It's a benefit for short people.
That is correct.
Just short people, they have to deal with that.
Huh? The short people? Okay.
Yeah, the short people. But he's the same height as me, so I can't call him short.
Yeah, I'm standing on the highest place I can stand right now.
They should repaint this gold.
We are gonna. We're not gonna do gold. There's a brick pattern that's coming. So this
to make it stand out
more. I'm
more.
on the state line, so it's gonna go. The state line will run all the way straight through from the parking lot, all the way up across the bridge to that planter right over there.
Because I know, like, when you look at it now, you can't see it because it just doesn't stand out.
Oh yes, yes. Okay. There you go. It's kind of loud, isn't it? Can everybody hear me okay? Yeah. All right. I'm actually standing on the state line between North and South Carolina. Behind me, you'll see the construction going on for our new gate. And you'll also notice that the humpy bridge that used to be here, that the railroad actually went under, is gone now. We've replaced it with a much wider bridge and one that meets the current ADA code, so it's no longer a barrier to any of our guests or anybody that wants to come visit the park. Over on your left, which is this side over here, is our new restroom building. That's the one with the, you'll see there's cement tiles with brown and red and a tan color on it. That's the color scheme that'll be throughout all these buildings up here, okay? So we built a new restroom. We've built the gift shop, and guest services is over here on your left. And then outside the park will be where you buy your tickets at. The piece that you're not seeing will be directly behind me, and that's it's a giant canopy, where that's where we'll actually take your tickets at. So you'll buy your tickets over here on your right, and then we'll take your tickets at this giant canopy that's not up yet. It's a big metal structure. It'll have these same style cement panels on it. So what we're doing is we're rebranding Carowinds to the New South. So this is the look we're looking for.
Are there going to be any are there going to be any of the on Top Gun when you go to the island? Just the screen. Is there going to be any of that?
The question was, are we going to put any kind of screen material up to try to protect the roller coaster from the people coming across the bridge? We don't think we're going to have to do that. So right now we're not planning to do that. We think it would be a detriment to the look. We've met with different safety consultants. We've met with B&M. We've met internally with our own safety people, and we think it's an 8-foot fence that'll be up there, so we should have enough protection there. We're going to put cameras on it, and hopefully the people that come into the park will have enough sense to not try to throw something on our coaster.
So the way we see it now is the way it's going to be on opening day.
That is incorrect. There's a big canopy that goes there.
No, I'm talking about the coaster.
The coaster, yes. What you see, it's exactly how it'll be. That's right.
What about the metal detectors? Are they coming back?
The metal detectors that you walk through are gone. Yay. Now, any metal detecting will be done with a handheld wand, like they do at the Panthers games.
Okay.
Or any other NFL game. We're not going to do the walkthroughs anymore.
No, yeah, that was a time consumer.
Yeah, I mean, you just see a lot of retaining walls, like over here on either side of the bridge. I mean, what's the area like underneath this going to look like? Is it going to be grass? Is it going to be flowers?
Maintenance road.
Is it going to be another service road?
Okay, the question is, there's a bunch of retaining walls over here on either side of the bridge. This is our service road. We're going to dress it up and make those walls look nice before we're done. But this is also a fire truck access. So we had to actually lower the road. We had to widen the space down there so we could actually get a fire truck through there again. As the building codes changed, we had to meet the current building code. So we actually lowered this bridge. This is a big deal. We lowered the bridge, we lowered the road, we made our fire truck access. We've kept all that going there, and the aesthetics on either side of the bridge are very important to us. This is our entry statement. So there'll be some trees, some flowers. It'll look good when we're done. It sure will. Very good question.
Now about the state line, is it going to be painted again, like when the park opened, or a different brick pattern, or something to make it stand out better?
It will stand out better. We're actually doing brick pavers in here, and the state line will actually be concrete. So it'll be a concrete stripe that goes all the way through here.
Yeah, just one more question, building on what you said. So how much of this area right here that we're standing on is going to be remodeled along with that, because you still have the brick paver state line right here.
And these two buildings.
The question is, what in this plaza that you're standing in now is going to change or be the same? We're leaving the brick pavers here. The state line will change. These buildings will stay. There's only so much that we can do in 1 year. It's all about time and money. You can look for future things to happen in this plaza once we need to do that. But you'll notice that this bridge is a lot wider than the distance between these buildings. So we have planned for the future, and as we grow the park and we get bigger, we'll have to do something in this plaza and change it. So there's more to come in the future for Carowinds. We're starting at the entry point right here, and then we'll start moving into the park. The other thing I want to reiterate here is there will be parking out in front of this park now instead of just on the sides. So if you get here early enough, you can actually get a spot out front. But you got to get here early because it's going to fill up fast.
So is that not preferred parking anymore?
There is preferred parking. Yep. Preferred parking will be out front, but it won't all be preferred parking. Any other questions?
Season pass parking.
Yes. They're going to be a season pass lot.
That one's gone back and forth a little bit. Mike, did you want me to answer that one? Or?
No, we're kind of the bus lot where that was.
Yep. Yeah, where season pass parking was is now our bus lot, because where our bus lot used to be is now where a coaster is. So, you know, we had to give up something, so we gave up our season pass lot. It's now a bus lot. But we did put enough parking spots out front, so if you get here soon enough, you can park up front. Any other questions? Any other questions before we move on? Exit to the park? The exit to the parking lot is not changing at this time. It's going to stay the way it is. Yeah. Okay, we're going to actually walk this way over towards the Shade Arbor, if you know where that's at. And if you'll congregate in the Vortex Plaza, I'll show you where the slingshot's going to go.
Go, Alan.
We've actually washed down to this.
Oh, so y'all cleaned up a little bit before.
We actually come over here with the water truck and sprayed it down just to get rid of a lot of the mud. There's still clumps around, but this over Christmas and man, the mud's just everywhere.
What about handicap parking?
Handicap parking would actually be on the main thoroughfare where you come over the ride bridge. We've got all our handicap parking right there at the closest point. When you do handicap parking, we had to move it to meet current codes because it's supposed to be at the closest point it can possibly be. So what we did is pretty much the line, if you follow the bridge right across the coaster, right across the coaster, the parking lot. So that's where the handicap parking is.
Awesome, because my husband has a handicap pass.
Very good. And the other thing we did is we actually planned for future expansion. So if we need to add more handicap parking, when we built our parking lot, all we have to do is put up the signs and restripe.
Okay, cool.
So we're ready for future growth. Awesome. As far as that, it's much easier if you plan for that. Yeah, it's much cheaper, so we don't have to regrade, repave. All we got to do is a little paint and put some signs up. Much better.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just from
Yep. I ask that you don't go past these orange barriers and stay out of the construction site, but you can come up to them. Once everybody gets up here, I'll answer your questions again and explain a few things.
Will the exit to Vortex change?
It will not.
Maybe Vortex rider.
You're going to be the first rider, right, on this?
On the slingshot? I think the ride manufacturer will be the manufacturer's rep will be the first one, but I wouldn't mind being the first one from Carowinds on it. I've never ridden one before.
I have, and it was indoors.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it though.
You can go on it when it's raining.
I'll ride anything that I can fit on.
That's me.
I can't ride the kiddie swings because the seat's just too small. You just can't do it.
Is the seat too small?
What's this? Hey! These are screws.
You ready to tell them something?
Should we give them away?
No.
Should we, like, are these door prizes?
Over there.
The general manager just handed me some, Mike just handed me some screws to use as door prizes. Would anybody like one?
Yeah, I have 3.
Here we go.
Yeah,
now what I ask is you don't don't lay them on the ground. Take them home. Here, pass those around.
I can just go to Lowe's and get them.
He just bought them at like Lowe's Hardware. And he was like, hey guys.
eBay?
Okay, can everybody hear me? I'll go ahead. This is the site we're putting the slingshot up. Mike's gonna kill me later, I can tell.
What was here before?
What was here before? We had a game kiosk.
Monorail station.
Oh.
Wow, we're really going back now. Yes, this is where the monorail station used to be. When we put the vortex up, the monorail station had to come down. We actually did find a monorail footer over here while we were digging. So those little carcasses are still out here. We actually found a couple when we were doing the parking lot. So
the lake used to be out there.
Yes, it did, and we found them. I think we've uncovered 4 this year. So depending on,
Did you save them for me?
we did not, but they're about 8 feet tall, and the concrete's very hard with a piece of steel in it. Anyway, this is our slingshot site. The tower will be 60 meters tall, which is right under 200 feet. Someone asked a question about an FAA light earlier, whether this ride would have to have one. As long as whatever you're building is not more than 200 feet tall, you do not have to put an FAA light on it. Anything 200 feet or taller has got to have an FAA light on it. That's why we have 4.
Doesn't the seat shoot up more than 200?
It does, but the structure is not higher than 200 feet.
I
So
hope there's no low-flying planes.
they're not.
They're not.
There's not supposed to be a plane within 2,000 feet of any structure. So we actually have 4 FAA lights here. You'll see them on top of Fury, Intimidator, Sky Tower, and Windseeker. I've got somebody back here helping me. It's kind of cool. All right. So there'll be 2 towers that go up here. Fun Time will actually come in and help put the ride up. It goes up in 2 sections. You put them together on the ground first. So each tower is put together in 2 sections. So you put the first one up, which is about 30 meters, and then you set the other one on top of it. So you don't have to have a 200-foot crane to do it. You set it up a little bit above the tipping point, about 20 meters off the ground, and then you set it on there and then bolt it all together. They'll climb and do the rest of it from there. So it actually goes up pretty quick. We are going to try to have this open for the 28th. If we can work it into the schedule, we'll have it open for the 25th. There again, it all depends on when the ride shows up, the weather. There's a lot of conditions that happen here. Obviously, we've just started excavating now for the foundations. You'll see some water pipe over here, some conduits. You stick a shovel in the ground out here at Carowinds and you're going to hit something. So we've got to reroute some of this stuff around before we can put the foundations in. Any questions?
So just to be clear, like, is there anything like that we're going to use on the slingshot like here on site right now, or is all this just like leftover that you're trying to work with?
No, this is the question was: is there anything here that's part of the slingshot? The answer is no. Okay. We're still in demo excavation.
But it's like a
I'll wear something else. Yeah, but Steve, I didn't think he was going to give them out to you guys.
Well, we can just go to Lowe's and get one.
The flag?
So what happened to the old North Carolina, South Carolina sign that was in the entrance plaza?
Yep, we have it in storage.
So it'll be re-implemented?
We're debating if we're going to make it bigger and better or if we're going to bring that one back.
I think you should bring it back.
Well, yeah, in one way, shape, or form it'll be here, but
you know,
we might put a bigger one.
Oh, well, bigger entrance, bigger sign. Well, I guess if anything, you could put that one elsewhere in the park, on the border.
Yes, yep.
Like somewhere back there next to Thunder Road, where the border goes through.
Photo spots. I mean, the state line doesn't only go through the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes all the way up that way.
Yeah, walking through that. Hey, you want to talk about it?
Over here behind me is where the Coke Marketplace is going. It should be ready by opening. The rock shop is over here. We're actually doing a facelift on that. We're going to actually change the name of the building to Thrills. And then we're going to first up to look over here at the box, reconfigure it, put the point cell outside, change the way that it operates inside so we can increase our capacity over here. Because this is going to be a very busy area this year with the introduction of Fury, because this is the only way to get here. The path that you took today is how you'll get here. Let me get over here and I'll explain a few things about the Fury.
Now the people, I meant to ask you, the people that when you went to the school competition.
All I ask is you stay on the hard surfaces over here, okay?
That's really, I thought this was like a rock shop.
There should be enough room for everybody to get a front row seat, I think. If you want to sit on my planters or stand on my planters, that's okay too.
Well, that's a hunk of concrete.
The Fury Station and the Fury Plaza. The store with the glass in it right here. That's actually the ride photo shop, and that's actually where you'll exit the ride. The entrance to the ride is over here on your right. If you see the spiral staircase right there, the queue line goes right past that, and it goes down the backbone of the lift. And then you flip around, you come back up, and you see where the guys are walking down the stairs. That's actually the entrance stairs to the ride. You go up on the platform, you actually load from this side. So you'll queue up on this side, you'll enter the train, you go across. So when you get off the train, you actually exit on the other side of the station, come down the stairs, and then you exit through the photo shop, the merchandise shop right here. Any questions? A single rider.
I'm excited.
I haven't heard anything about single rider line. I know we've got a fast lane ride, fast lane line, we've got a regular line, and then we've got a handicap line. So I haven't heard anything about single rider. Is Mike out there anywhere? Hey Mike! Are you talking to somebody? Hey, single rider line, are we? No. It's closed. Okay, no single rider. I don't like it. Well, bring a friend so you got somebody to talk to in there. You're going to do that anyway. This area right over here where you see the flags and tape right now, that's where the lockers are going to be. So that's where the locker plaza is, so you put your articles in there that you have. Then you go get in line, ride the ride. Get back in line, ride again. Get back in line, ride again. Then you can start out of your locker. The question is there going to be a plaza area for this ride similar to Intimidator with the Winter Circle? There is, and it's right here. This is as big as it's going to be. This is all this area right here. This big piece of concrete right here is going away. This is one of those surprises that they found. They haven't removed yet. But this big slug of concrete was found in the ground about 4 feet deep. We're not exactly sure why it was here, but it's here.
Jimmy Hoffa?
Jimmy Hoffa? Well, we haven't cracked it up yet, so he could be inside.
What about the fast lane?
Don't pull me down. Right here.
The merging point is right at the bottom of the stairs. Yep. The question was, where's the fast lane plus, merging point going to be? It's going to be at the bottom of the stairs, going up into the station. Questions?
How long will it take the train to climb the lift hill?
Question is, how long will it take the lift train to climb the lift hill? If I'm remembering that number, I think it is 70 seconds. It is a 40-degree lift. It's got the same motor gearbox setup that Intimidator has. So it'll go up the lift at the same speed that the Intimidator does. The question was, is there any plan for a tunnel at the bottom of the first drop? And it is no. But it is very, very close to the ground. The area we went and looked at is that low to the ground. It's right on the ground. I can actually put my head up in it and get my head knocked off by the train if I was there.
The rails are literally like 5 feet off the ground, so.
It's very low. You can actually see it on the webcam at the bottom of the hill. The chain is not in there yet. The chain will go in once we finish connecting the last piece of track. It's just a sequence. We can put the chain in now, but we're concentrating on getting all the track together so the electricians can finish. Usually do that with a crane. You do it with a come-along crane, a wind system, and what they'll do is they'll connect that chain in multiple points to help pull it up. The question was, is this ride going to have any effect on our fireworks show? The answer to the question is yes, it is. I'll come out and find out exactly what it is. If I told you now, you'll probably know. We're working on that. So no need to ride it. Any other questions?
Why would we ride it right now?
You can't ride it right now.
I'll be close to the ground, so now I don't have a big impact. I just brace myself. I've been hit going much faster. And I survived that.
I'd rather wait when we get the whole track done.
Yeah, so they just like boom. Yeah, like a slow roll. It's like
There's 5 more trucks on the track. Just don't sit in the front of the car.
Yeah. That's essentially.
Oh, action part. It was, yeah, I'll be there. It's just
the question was, what's the horsepower of the lift tail motor? It's 500 horsepower. It's actually the same setup as on Intimidator.
I think it is the incarnation that it was.
We do have the diesel engine on it, so it's a power failure. We can actually run the lift without power. We can go ahead and throw you over and evacuate it. I don't have the exact weight on the train. The car is about 6,000 pounds. There's 8 cars in the train, 32 people, so 50,000 pounds. And I know that the price of each train is about $1 million. $1 million a train, and we have 3. And we will run all 3 trains. Just like you said that
One of these days.
Good thing. I just want to show you how muddy it was. Any other questions? Comments? Concerns? The lockers are going to be right over here with the yellow.
Kind of this year was in here. Because there was a new car.
No, I think it's the thing. I don't have to. I think it's 400 plus lockers. Going to be turn around and head west. We don't expect everybody to pick up the locker. They'll probably use it with family friends, or they'll not bring it back.
I wonder if he knows that the Thunder Road
No.
I'll send you some photos.
Quote unquote, maybe question mark.
Well, some nights I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some friends for a change. And some nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know.
So this is it. I sold my soul for this. Wash my hands of that for this. I miss my mom and dad for this. No. When I see stars, when I see stars, that's all they are. When I hear songs,
They sound like a swan, so come on. Well, Galaxy got daddy's on 5 minutes in and I'm bored again. 10 years of this, I'm not sure if anybody understands. This one is not for the folks at home. Sorry to leave, but I had to go. Who the fuck wants to die alone, all dried up in the desert sun? My heart is breaking for my sister and the comments she called off. And then I look into my nephew's eyes. Man, you wouldn't believe the most amazing things they can come from some terrible lies.